Double fives because it's Friday and it's episode 55.
It is.
Day 3.
Day 3. What other fast facts you got? Is that it?
Rutledge Woods starts today officially.
He does.
I'm so excited for this.
He does.
Ran into him this morning.
Yeah?
He's as fun in person as he is on his Instagram account. So I'm just so excited. He might become my secondary bestie when you make me mad.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Did he finish our theme song?
He didn't. And I actually said I called him out on yesterday's show. I said that we will be following up with him after today's show, wanting to check in on the progress of our theme song.
Great.
Yeah.
Well, you are quickly up to speed here on Mecum in the Morning. Thanks for joining us. We're so excited to have you be a part of today's show, just because there's so much going on. As Brianne said, we are rolling through the summer special here in Kissimmee, Florida at the Osceola Heritage Park. Friday, big Friday. I don't know. I can't think of another adjective for it.
Big, exciting,
Big,
amazing. Exciting.
But there's a lot in store happening on the auction block. We've got 36 pieces of road art, and boy, do we have a special spotlight on one of the collections of road art. 280 collector vehicles. That's trucks, cars, motorcycles, and a whole lot more. And then we also have 4 collections that are going to be part of that. So a lot going on, a lot to see and do here.
Yeah, Matt.
Oh, man. And it's always good to remind people, Brianne, about just some of the news that we have made over the last couple of weeks. We've had a lot of excitement. Well, not just a couple of weeks, couple of months. There's been a lot of big developments with Mecum and the way that we get content to our viewers. And one of the most exciting things recently is the fact that viewers can now find it on
Roku.
And here's a taste of how you might discover it.
Matt, can you believe that we get to watch Mecum 24 hours a day, 7 days a week on our very own channel on Roku?
So cool to be able to be in our set watching past auction coverage, like you said, 24/7 around the clock, totally free on Roku.
I know, I've got it downloaded on my phone. We can watch it on our set TV. Also a great way to pass the time away when we're supposed to be working.
Right now, it's all the great coverage of past auctions, Brianne, as well as some of the shows that people really enjoyed. But I'm really looking forward to some of the original programming we have in the works. The future on Roku is really bright.
Do you think we should probably get back to work soon? Do you think anyone's...
Really disqualifies.
I mean, we are doing research?
Research.
Yeah, okay. If anyone asks.
Research. Great truck there.
Yeah.
You know, Matt, we conducted a lot of great hours of research yesterday.
We did. Yeah, we sure did. We had a lot of fun. And that's just to, having a little bit of humor just to show you how easy it is to encounter Roku. There's a lot of devices out there, smart TVs, and you can also download the app. And you just head over to Mecum TV on Roku. And as I mentioned in that package, Brianne, right now we've got a lot of great content. We're kind of curating some past auction highlights and some past auction shows that we've had.
Yeah, like Full Throttle, Mecum Accelerated. We've got, as you know, we're less than a month old on, Roku. So we're just now kind of getting a grasp of like what programming we want to add. But again, like you teased yesterday and we've teased, at Tulsa is, the future for programming on Mecum TV is very bright. As we progress through this, we'll add, new ideas. But we also want to hear from you guys, like, on this channel, like, what do you want to see? What do you want us to highlight? Are there new show ideas? Send them through YouTube or reach out to us on customer service. But the thing to not forget is we also have our live show on ESPN Plus. So during auctions, catch all the live auction coverage on ESPN, as well as the re-airs on YouTube and Roku.
Yeah, and Brian, we've had a lot of questions about it, just about how does Roku fit in. And what I tell people is that it doesn't replace anything. It's actually just another addition to the way that we get content out there. So,
it's 24/7.
And it's 24/7. Like Dana Mecum said, no one's sleeping anymore.
Jimmy Landis said the same thing to Kayla and I yesterday. Is like everyone's watching Roku even when they're sleeping.
24/7, you can find it. And if you have any issues, head over to Mecum.com. Where to watch? There's a tab. It kind of fills in a little bit more about where you can encounter our live broadcast on ESPN Plus, the Roku content, and then of course all the other social media content that the team is producing.
Yeah, we're just everywhere. You cannot avoid us.
Everywhere, including in the morning show set. We might even have it on here when we're not,
Maybe.
We're not recording.
But there's even bigger news that we announced this week, Matt.
There is bigger news. So even though we're in Florida here, we're already looking out through the rest of the calendar year. And like you said, we made the announcement that we have a brand new addition to our auction lineup. We've got a very special collection that's going to be heading across the auction block later this fall.
Where is it located? I think it's kind of in our backyard, but more importantly, it's actually closer to your backyard.
The Windy City, Chicago. So the Klairmont Collection, very well-known museum, and then
we're actually calling it the Larry's Legacy Klairmont Collection.
Yeah,
just to be clear.
So Larry Claremont was a passionate automotive enthusiast who amassed just a fantastic display and collection. He had such eclectic taste. Every time that I've been there, I always see something new, but beautiful space of how it's all laid out. You can see it there with the neon signs. He has all kinds of rooms, the muscle car room, there's a Jeep room, there's a mini car room, there's a movie car room. And so all of this, the time has come for it to go to the next curator and collector. So it's going to be selling this September.
Absolutely. And you've got to spend a lot of time there. Is there any particular vehicle that you were most excited about, like in your recent visits there?
So one of the ones that I really like, just because it further has ties back to Chicago, it's called the Mod Rod. And it's that convertible there in the package that you can see. And it was actually a Oldsmobile Chicago Auto Show car that was kind of trying to spice up the brand a little bit. And so really neat, great provenance. There's photos of it on the turntable at the Chicago Auto Show decades ago. So that's in the collection. He's also got, as I mentioned, some great muscle cars. Those are always awesome. So there's really a lot, and just a beautiful space. So we've got a whole lot more content coming, Brianna. I know we were talking yesterday about just some special media opportunities. So stay tuned to your social feed, both on Mecum and some other people in the industry. There's going to be a lot more coming about the Claremont.
Yeah, some of the important auction details that we haven't discussed yet is that the auction will be September 20th and 21st, and there will be a scheduled preview day for interested bidders on the 19th. But the weekend before that is we will open up the museum for anybody and everybody. And then in order to get in, you'll just make a donation to the Larry's Legacy Fund as one final thing. But anything that was for sale in the gift shop is available for purchase during that time as well. So your last chance as a spectator or, as an interested person to see that collection as a whole will be that weekend before. For media opportunities or anything, if you're interested in media, please contact our communications department and we will definitely set up, a media preview for you. But this collection is very quirky. My favorite car in that collection is the Swarovski Crystal Rolls Royce. That thing, when I saw it in person, I was like, no way. But I don't think that's a car that you would drive on the road. And I always complain when people buy cars and they don't drive them and they're trailer queens or they're just for show. That's definitely one that you wouldn't put on the road because you don't want to have those Swarovski crystals just fly off, because that would just be a really sad moment. But that thing is just something to look at. So if you're in the Chicago area, if you're in the Midwest, and the weekend before the auction, just come and view this collection one last time together, because it is a really neat museum.
And it's not just vehicles. There's also, I think, hundreds of pieces of road art.
There's 1,000 pieces of road art.
1,000 pieces. Yeah. So, and again, you can see it there in the package, but we'll have a lot more content. I think we've already got some news up on Mecum.com. And as we get more and more of the consignments cataloged and processed, will be there as well. But really neat opportunity to score some great finds.
Now, shifting to another great car, something that we kind of talked about yesterday, and I really liked it, was that GTO that you guys brought to the FuelFest.
We did. That thing was catching all kinds of attention. And so the owner was there in attendance at the show. So I said, man, I got to find out more about it. So I caught up with him for the full story about the Twisted 67 GTO.
I'm here at FuelFest LA, and here in the Mecum booth, and we've got a custom 1967 GTO that's been dialed up and modified to the max. I'm here with the owner, Steve. Steve, this is a crazy build, and I know there's a lot of design intention behind it. How did it come together?
So I originally bought the car just to be a little cruiser on Friday night with me and my kid. I hired Sean Smith to kind of help me with it, sent her over to Roadster Shop. It was just going to be a Survivor Series. COVID hit. Things kind of went sideways. I said, hey, send it back. We're going to work on it out here. And so slowly we put it together. And the whole thing was to go with a European design, leave it Americana, but put some European features behind the car.
There's so much to talk about, but I want to focus in on the 5 craziest features. Hit me with them, Steve. What are they?
Well, for one, it has a roadster shop chassis, which is based off a C6 Corvette. We use C6 door handles. The doors close like a modern vehicle. The interior is about $170,000 to $180,000. Ferrari Bordeaux leather. Everything in it is scanned, 3D printed, and cut. Everything in it is aluminum nickel plated, painted to look like wood from the 60s. So we wanted to have that Americana feel. The steering wheel, as an example, is all billet machined. The engine is about 1,100 horsepower, LS-based, Dart 427. You look at it, you see no wires. Everything is very clean. Windows are all one-touch electric. All these things we wanted to have, the modern features of a modern car, but with the Americana feel.
And how did that name come about?
So it's got a supercharger and they're twisted. So we went with Twisted 67 GTO, just like what's on the license plate.
Well, thanks, Steve, for the details.
Very good.
It is one of a kind. And you can only catch it at the upcoming Mecum Monterey this August.
I can't get enough of that. That paint scheme, the wheels, that interior. Just I think he like put it together well at the end. A modern car with that Americana feel. That's a great tagline for that car.
You know, and Steve showed me the photos of what he started with, Brianna. I mean, he talked about there, and I got to say, I think for a lot of people, they probably would have left it as is. It was a great driver. It looked like it was ready for all kinds of events, from the power tour to everything else. But I think Steve was like, no, he's like, let me take this thing to the next level.
He did.
And I don't know if I've seen another GTO like it. I mean, just the amount of work that went into it, the quality of the craftsmanship, and then just the performance. And I love, too, he was telling Alyssa and I that some of the events that he's been at, he's driven it. I think he said autocross. So, I mean, he's putting it through its paces just to show that it's not just a trailer queen.
Which, I can't stand. In a car like that, with a motor like that, you got to get it out on the road, Matt.
You got to get it out. And as I mentioned in that package, so that one-of-a-kind Twisted 67 GTO is going to be one of the stars at our Monterey auction. It's going to fit in perfectly with the vibe there on the peninsula. So I can't wait to see kind of how it shakes things up out there.
And if you're new to Mecum and if you're new to watching the show, if you're interested in this vehicle or any other vehicle at any auction, just go to mecum.com, click register to bid, choose the auction that you're interested in, and it's easy as 1, 2, 3.
I like that.
I know.
1, 2, 3, and then 67 GTO. All right.
Skip 4 and 5.
You skip a couple numbers. Well, hey, Brian, there's some fun vehicles here in Florida.
I don't know, because you don't invite me to go check them out.
So earlier this week, for viewers who missed it, I had the chance to catch up with a red wagon. Basically, it was kind of a custom car based off of the Radio Flyer wagon.
We can't forget about that.
We can't forget about it.
Yeah.
And I know that I know our social team has done a couple posts about that, about me driving around, cruising to Miranda Lambert. But that's not the only cool convertible that's here. There is some other ones here, and they were all red. And I said, hey, let me check them out. So here's my package.
Welcome to summer in Florida. And here at Mecum Summer Special is a trio of cool custom convertibles perfect for this weather. When it comes to the open air ride of your life, there's no better choice than this 2023 Demon 170. It's had a convertible conversion by Drop Top Customs, is painted in Tour Red, and has just 23 miles showing on the odometer. And with over 1,000 horsepower on tap, there's no better way to get the most wind in your hair. Back in the early 80s, if you wanted a convertible Firebird, you could get one from Autoform, who completed around 200 of these roadster conversions. This example shows just over 23,000 miles. It's definitely ready for some fun in the sun. Keeping the theme on all-American muscle, but this time wrapping it in some Italian flair, is the 71 Italia Spider. It's one of an estimated 354 that were hand-built in Italy. And this one, it's powered by a Ford 302 cubic inch V8. It's also equipped with AC, power windows, and is a numerous award winner. We can't talk Florida summers without a mention of the iconic dune buggy. Drop a comment which of these red rides is perfect for cruising the Sunshine State.
All right, well, you asked the question. To me, it was that 71 Spider.
That thing had a lot of attention, and Brianna, it's kind of a unique story there, and people can find out more on the consignment page, but it's kind of in line with almost like the Shelby Cobra, the ISO Griffith Pantera, where basically you have kind of not exotic body work, but you have like a coach builder that has a vision for how they want to build a car, but for the powertrain, they kind of find something reliable, and that's the case with that Italia there, because it stopped me, Alyssa, and we had help from Dom, and all three of us were like, hey, this thing's cool. We got to find out more about it. So
what I would imagine is driving on the Amalfi Coast in Italy with a white flowing scarf along, and then stopping in a Piazza and having a nice Aperol spritz. I can be elegant like that.
You can. I appreciate you sharing. That's great.
Yeah.
You've really opened up here. Yesterday, you shared about how you didn't get a red wagon.
No, I had a red wagon for Braden, my son. It was stolen off my front lawn.
Right, but I'm glad that you found the morning show a safe space to share.
You're welcome.
We'll have to have that be a segment.
Sharing is caring, Matt.
Sharing is caring.
Yeah.
Drop a comment. Which of those four we included that dune buggy just because it was so perfect.
You're about to share something very personal in this package, aren't you, Matt?
I am, but I was going to ask our viewers, drop a comment. Which of those red rides was one of your favorites? Like I said, I think for me, I have to go with that dune buggy. They're just so cute and fun. I love it. But yes, so Brian, do you like waffles?
I love waffles.
Did you know that there's Waffle House songs?
I did not know that.
I know, I didn't either. But I did find out yesterday when we headed over to Road Art.
At the end of the auction block here in the arena in Florida is where you'll find Mecum's Road Art. Haley, you're from the department. What are some of the unique pieces that people can regularly find in Road Art?
Yeah, so Road Art is a department where we sell a wide range of collectibles, anywhere from gas pumps, neon signs, jukeboxes, pedal cars, where you can get to just decorate your garage or add to your 50-year collection. We actually have someone here to talk to if you want.
Awesome, I will. Hey, Bill.
Hey, I heard nothing, man.
I heard you had a big collection here, and I see you're using some of the great pieces of Road Art.
Yeah, I am.
Now that gum's fresh, right?
It is fresh. I just put it in before I brought it to the show.
Well, this is a great collection of pieces. How'd you go about curating them all, and maybe can you tell me about some of the highlights?
Yeah, it's taken me a lot of years, and I've come to Mecum auctions for many years, buying and selling cars.
I love it. Now, what about the gas pumps, man? These are awesome. What's the story there?
Well, this gas pump, my wife, when I got it home, she said, it goes in the garage. I said, no. And it was our nightlight at the end of the hallway. That Pioneer clock was in the kitchen. That's a 60-year-old clock. Getting older, and I just needed to sell some of the things I figured the people would enjoy, some of the things I have, and I'm just hoping they go to good homes.
One of the pieces that's got all kinds of attention, Bill, is this jukebox. I think it's got songs about breakfast. Man, what's the details on this one?
All right, this jukebox, it actually came out of a Waffle House restaurant. Let me show you the inside of this. This jukebox can play CDs or records. A friend of ours, we play dominoes in my dining room. This was in our dining room, and he would hit 113. And immediately the Waffle House hash brown song would come up. I love the hash brown. This thing works. Everything I bring here works.
In addition to Road Art, Bill, you're also utilizing another great platform Mecum has, On Time. What kind of items do you have there?
Okay, I got probably 250 items I took up there. Classic trucks. So they're going to be online. Anybody can bid on them. Really, I hate to get rid of some of them, but it's time.
Well, I'm going to have to come visit. Thanks for sharing the story, Bill.
You bet. You bet.
And no matter what space you want to decorate, of course, you can always find some of the best unique pieces at Mecum Road Art.
Breakfast, lunch, and dinner, too. I want you day and night.
I want you at my Waffle House.
What'd you think?
I have to say, he's great, but you might have to work on your dance moves a little bit, Matt.
I was just feeling it. I mean,
Yeah.
I thought it was great.
Yeah. I actually like that jukebox. And this morning, it's funny because he's around here watching the show this morning, but one of our longtime customers, Andy, has been messing with the jukebox all morning long. It's actually been a great attraction.
So what I know about him from talking with Bill about it, I think apparently there was some kind of a promotion or some kind of a not a marketing, but it's part of the Waffle House they include these jukeboxes in them. Because I will say, we played that classic hit. I think it was, he said 113.
He did say 113.
He did. Waffle House Hash Browns, I Love You.
Yep.
But there's some other bangers, like I Like What I See at the Waffle House. Of course, the classic, Why Would You Eat Your Grits Anyplace Else? The Waffle Doo-Wah, and I'm Cooking. So I'm just saying, like, it just, there's a whole set there to jam to.
I think after the show ends, we should go and play all of those songs.
We should. And I also like to, I will say, it's not just all breakfast songs, although that would be amazing.
Yeah.
There's some other songs on there. And then also Bill said that it's 45s and CDs. So a lot of tunes there. But of course, the breakfast ones are probably the best.
That was classic. Thanks for sharing your dance moves and Bill's story with us, Matt.
Yeah, and a huge thanks to Bill for playing along. We did have a lot of fun, and really neat to see his passion for those items. And also, Alyssa and I were commenting about, I like how Bill keeps, I think, all of them in his house.
Yeah,
you know, a lot of people
like
decorate
the end of the hallway and the clock in the kitchen, and he said everything that he sells works.
Yeah. So I mean, it's not just about decorating your garage, your man cave, your she shed, your boat barn, your I don't know, wherever you keep cool things, you can also decorate your house. And like I said there, I don't know, right?
Whatever you say, man.
Whatever you,
It's also Silly Friday now, folks.
It is Silly Friday, but we appreciate you joining us here for Mecum in the Morning. As we wrap up, of course, wherever you're watching, drop us a comment. We already have some folks. We have Lindsay from Texas, Kenny from Alabama. Thanks so much for watching. And of course, we are twinning today, Brianna.
We are. You can only see the front of our shirts, but luckily our producer Alyssa stopped by and is showing the back of the shirt that we're wearing for the Florida Summer Special. Again, our event tees, as soon as they run out, they're not restocked. So buy them online or stop by our event, our merch shop here at Florida Summer Special and grab that and a bunch of other cool items.
Yeah. And also, I wanted to give a shout out to Seth, who commented on yesterday's show on Facebook. He said, will your new Roku show, the Roku channel, show the early years when Mecum first started? That would be great. Keep repeating those years. Need more of that John Claremont. He will be missed. That's a great point, Seth, is not only obviously John's legacy lives on and such a big part of the Mecum family. But yes, a lot of
we will
content,
dig deep into their archives.
We'll dig deep, and so you can still catch John's commentary and his personality on the Roku channel. So
and even on YouTube too. So we do have some of our YouTube stuff that has John in there, as well as some of the premieres and some of the collections that we had John along on too. So John will always be a part of the Mecum family.
Yeah. So thanks for the comment, Seth. Thanks for watching. And as we get revved up for today, Brian, the auction is going to be starting soon. You can catch the live feed on Mecum.com, and TV coverage kicks off at noon, as you mentioned, with all of our great TV hosts, including the addition now of Rutledge. Still missing that theme song, Woods.
Yeah, that can be, yeah. Rutledge, we're not calling you out for the 15th time or anything.
But we are. But thanks for joining us, and we will see you back here tomorrow on Saturday. Tomorrow's Saturday, right?
Tomorrow is Saturday, and the final day of the Florida Summer Special.
See you then.